Joining me in studio is Kwaku Asante to give us more on this. JoyNews has been making its checks. And Kwaku, what have we been finding?
So we have been confirming a couple of the details that the minority have been putting out, and just the basics. The flight name is AirMed N823AM. That is the flight registration numbers. It is ordinarily like an air ambulance of sorts that uses to transport passengers around the world. And it did arrive in the country, just like the minority did say, on the 20th of March, 2025. That is just last month.
Right.
And then it was in the country for 5 days, between 20th and the 25th of March, 2025. And we're getting all these details from Flight Radar, which is publicly available data source in terms of what we are able to get. If you check the next slide in terms of what we're able to get, you see that on the 19th of March, a day prior to the flight landing in Accra, it was in Santa Maria.
Right.
And then it flew from there to Gran Canaria Islands, all of that in Spain. And then from Gran Canaria Islands, it flew to Accra on the 20th of March. And then it stayed in Accra between 20th of March to 25th of March. It stayed in Accra. It was docked at the airport. We don't know if it had to take a patient somewhere or anything. We don't have those information yet. And then officially flew from Accra on the 25th of March back to Gran Canaria. And then on the same day when it landed in Gran Canaria, it then moved to Santa Maria. Right. And then if you do the checks, you will realize that it has subsequently moved to the United Kingdom and all that in terms of some of the data that we have been able to get. And so that is the itinerary in terms of this flight and its movement. It stayed in Ghana, like the minority said again, power confirmation from Flight Radar and the confirmation of the work he's been doing. It did stay in the country for 5 days. 5 days he was in Ghana, no information yet, and that is what the investigation will expose ultimately when we get it. He stayed in Ghana for 5 days. And so this is the movement. This is the Gran Canaria Island in Spain. It moved from there to Accra here and stayed for 5 days. That has been confirmed. You can check the movement. You can check the registration number. N823AM did move from Gran Canaria Island. It's just a small island on the coast of Spain. Moved from there to the Kotoka International Airport here in Accra and stayed for 5 days before ultimately flying out of the country back to Gran Canaria and then to Santa Maria. Right. The minority have been making these allegations, and John Dramani Mahama has been speaking about it on his official Facebook page. He's asking for investigations to be conducted. John Mahama says he has instructed NACOC, the National Security Coordinator, the police, CID, and allied investigative bodies to go into this matter and report to him. But the sticking point is that John Mahama is asking the Member of Parliament to collaborate with these investigative bodies to get to the bottom of this. John Dramani Mahama says this government is concerned about allegations that this might have been done by way of drug trafficking. He says the government has zero tolerance for drug trafficking.
Yes, and I was hoping that the president's statement on X will be shown on, on our screens.
So yes, these are the investigative bodies that have been tasked to do this investigation: the Narcotics Control Commission, the police, CID. We also know the National Security Coordinator himself has been tasked to be involved in this. Together, they've been asked to liaise with the Member of Parliament who made these allegations to try and get whatever information they'll be able to get. And then John Dramani Mahama goes ahead to say that they will maintain zero tolerance for using Ghana as a transit or final destination for drugs or drug trafficking. And then he goes on to talk about the high-profile drug bust that was made in Cape Coast with a street value of $350 million. John Dramani Mahama says they're going to look into this.
Thank you so much, Kwaku Asante, giving us details of that flight itinerary.